Whoa. Okay, it's me again. I'm gonna be here for the whole video this time instead of just like showing up for the intro and like getting really murdered by someone. So, alright, so Pilgrim. Pilgrim is like this cool Roblox RPG that tends to be on like the same vibe as Dark Souls combat, and it's like a little Terraria-esque, albeit with like a little more lighthearted, more in serious manner. And me personally, I really like that, even though I still have no idea what I'm talking about. The game's been out for like maybe 5-ish years. There was a pretty big, somewhat recent update at some point, which was the Junk Bits Part 1, and that added a lot of new bosses, new weapons, new armor, which is pretty cool. I like the update a lot, and playing with friends sparked my interest into the game again after I played it for like an idiot for so long, and I first picked up the game like again late into pre-junks. I know I did some stuff on Pilgrim already, but this time I actually wanted to do something cool and show off like, well, my Pilgrim builds. Keep in mind, I am a complete fucking idiot, and sometimes I can miss the obvious, plus there's an incredible amount of nuance and depth when it comes to actually making builds for weapons. More often than not, I tend to lean into crit, status, or melee tank builds because I personally find those more fun face-taking damage, seeing high consistent or general burst damage, or just applying something and setting back to focus on defense with occasional interference for a refresher on the timers. But don't worry, I do have some nice variety here with melee, mage, and range builds, some of which I even had some help with because again, I'm stupid, there's a lot of preference and combos that can do random niche bullshit, and that makes some pretty cool shit. So here's how this works. I show my build, explain why I put certain things where with the weapons and reforged gems, and then I test it against Old Fart and maybe other bosses if it applies. Yeah, I'm probably not going to mention skills unless completely necessary, but techniques will be touched on. Some builds were definitely varied in strength and skill, with some being glass cannons. Actually, most of these are glass cannons, I think, but I don't really care. If it's fun, then I play it, and if I play it, I have some fun. So, to start the list, we can start with a newly discovered personal favorite, Scrap Nail Gun. This thing is shockingly fun to play around with when you know what you're doing. Reminder, Scrap Nail Gun is a technique that you get from Billy in Ager's Observatory when you start his Slime and Scrap quest line. It only applies to a handful of rusty weapons, those being the Scrap Sickle, Longsword, and Lance. This build centers around the Longswords, but you can modify it around the others if you choose so. Pig Mask and Liar for high strength and bonus swing speed. Crit chances don't matter to me, but if it does, by all means swap it out to something else. And Pink Gel Cartridge is there because the pink slime adds bonus levels to any status effect inflicted onto your enemy. The Freeze Flame and Rusty Spoon are there to stack and work with the Rusty Scalpel and gain bonuses off of it, and that's also with White Frost Gem was there. I basically already had fire, and the reduced defense is a nice bonus with it on top of the status checklist. Frying Pan was there just to negate the crit chance from Pig Mask, but by all means swap it out for something like Challenge Level or whatever if you ever decide to use this. Now the weapon. Agile doesn't matter, you can put whatever you want on this thing, it'll probably work, maybe even heavy or large. The main piece of work is the corrosion of the thing. It's fucking crazy. Preference, here's my main rot build compared to this thing's corrosion. Look at the cobalt numbers. I have that as my damage over time color. 40 something versus 14 tick damage at a slightly slower rate? What the fuck? So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. I have Delicate, I think, and Tricky. Other than that, it's mainly just Recover and Prevention, like Rally, Focus, and Unace Bolster. I love Bolster. I have Bolster in almost everything. It's just a guaranteed Rally proc, and among other things. Well, it's just nice if you mistime something. Yes, I know, skill issue, but I play on a fucking phone. Be patient. So, I'll just let this fight play out. I'll speed it up and give some brief commentary. So, hey, it's me. I'm doing the voiceover now. I don't really have much to say, other than it's a pretty good build. I like it. I think like a little bit around this point I take like a shit ton of damage and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm like that for a little bit, but then he does his nuke, I think. Like yeah, there goes, he does his nuke, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm chill. And so I just kind of run over to him and leave. Okay, Bell. I like this one because I've always thought the bell was really cool among the way you get it, being like you have to go through these two clashing religions, the Snow Cultist and the False Believer that worship the Spin and Bell respectively. So anyway, Bell. This is definitely a glass cannon build with an abysmal negative 29 defense and shockingly mediocre strength, especially for endgame. But this isn't using really junk pits gear, so we aren't getting any crazy stat totals. I actually was hesitant to put on putting spiky on the helmet and armor at first, but I was like, fuck it, we ball, and stopped angry gun that shit, so it's whatever. I also had the bell on heavy for a while, but I eventually decided the swing speed is genuinely terrible. I need to swap it out, so I swapped the light, and it feels a lot better to handle. Unlocked the soft resonance from the armor mixed with melody metal. Anyway, big poise damage. Lightning gem gets 24% more poise damage and a crazy knockback, so I slapped Fuse Tempest on it for lightning tick damage. Also, I was hesitant to put Fragile Whetstone on, but I eventually caved because negative 30% crit chance is wretched, and that's basically my band-aid fix for the problem. It's simple. Also, Bell Saint style. I only put this here because I like the bell and the story behind it, so I made a build on it. Anyway, old fart fight. Again, I'll speed it up a little. I don't have much to add other than I actually just don't know how soft resonance works and resonance in general from the armor. So I was kind of surprised when I missed his grab attack and I didn't get stunned. So that's really all I have to say. So. This thing is scary. It's long, it's sharp, it's got a multi-hit on top of inflicting bleeding. And the best thing about it? Overdrive. I mean, look at this damage. I am ass naked, by the way, and the only thing I have on it is an increased crit chance and charm gen because I am not fighting for another one of these without any reforges or gems. By the way, this thing is a heavy weapon. Negative 40% swing speed. Hello? Tiny brace bonus, natural super armor. This thing is terrifying. And I made it worse. Ace, Delicate, and Liar, Prism Crown and Charm Gen, Vexation and Acute Lens, Royal Antenna and Rusty Spoon, and Diamond Ring and Vibrafang for good measure. Actually, I don't even know if Royal Antenna has more bleeding on top of the bleeding the spell already inflicts, so that might be just redundant. Either way, this thing is like the definition of a glass cannon. With -% crit chance on the weapon, because I have it reforged as lucky, everything comes out to 55%. You know, crit chance. That's slightly more than flipping a coin, and this thing hits 4 times in a single swing. Then make sure we have a 15% crit boost from Delicate. Oh, and also from Charm Gen, which is 25% base, but with Prism Crown, that bumps up to 37.5%. So that's 77.5% increased damage, a little over half the time, including base damage boost from a landing crit. This thing does reserve that negative 20% base crit rate. Okay, this is dangerous, and I'm about sick of melee weapons anyway. Here's the old fight, and a little bit of Kai Lazar action, because I feel like it. It did take me a while. Okay, so contrary to popular belief, I think mage weapons are pretty fun as well, especially when they're kind of done like this. Okay, pretty sick, right? Anyway, it's time for me to cover probably one of my top 3 favorite weapons, the Shredder. This thing is simple. Cool guitar, play a riff, slam it down with your heavy or make projectiles bigger, pair it with your bass heavy, and go fucking crazy with your M1. I mean, look at these stats! 75% piercing, this thing deserves it, totally. 30 mana, doesn't matter. Ineffable plus Nazar, or a mana flux or mana feather plus Ace Deception. Trust me, with junk pit skill points factored in, I more often than not find myself with an abundance of skill points. Oh, yeah, there's also 14 damage, and this thing practically hits twice when you rip it. So basically, what if we take the wickedly short fire rate, high piercing, crazy DPS, slap a wolf on it with Dark Gem to put a cost on mana that makes the Binding of Isaac jealous, and then we double it. Yes, we fucking double this fucking thing with Sorrow's JoJo's Bizarre Adventures stand. Albeit with less damage, but we're able to slap on Doubt and get the damage bonus because the weapon's considered dark because of the Dark Gem. I don't really mind that we got a negative 5% crit chance total. It's not like it's gonna matter anyway when there's this many projectiles. It's so fucking good. By the way, I got Windman's Cloak using this because it just tore Lazarus HP apart and basically left us with a damage race to see who could destroy the other with abject bubbles of instant molestation. You already saw it gaking Old Fart, so we could probably take down Demakin with Modeling. It also took me a while. There's a lot of weapons in here from, you know, junk bits. Might as well savor what there was a few updates ago. Like, you know, Lost Mass. They're cool. They're pretty lost, but pretty cool. Dark Gem.
Hey, you know how I do it.
And Abrupt. Abrupt is nice. Faster, boom, 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 boom. But for the downside because of the single hit anyway and the instant restoration beams. Yeah, I'm using Doubt and Sorrow combo again, even for this, and I'm not even using either Lost Mask helmets. Please, the cocksucking booth is down the hall into the second door from the bathroom. Mainly because I'm knee-deep in post-Pescatarian archive rank, and I want Unfinished Tapestry, but too late to actually work for it, but that's besides the point. I got Overfull Scalpel and Increased Tempest on that build because more status effects on top of the shock of fire that the weapon themselves inflict can just, like, get insane amount of mana back, and with Ineffable, that basically gives you borderline infinite mana. Frying Pan for the crit chance, so it brings me out of the negatives, and Mana Powder because why the fuck not? Simple, click a shit ton and win. I don't really use the heavy too hard to actually aim because you fucking fly forward like an idiot and it doesn't track on enemies with, like the M1 does with the mobile aimbot. Neither do I use Star Wars Doppelganger because the build just turns too fragile to properly use. So, Old Fart, meet your maker. So here's the first build I really didn't know what to make of. The Wayfinder, you know, Giant Pit's weapon does crazy damage even while you're ass naked. I had no idea where to start. Diamond Ring, yeah, sure, natural. Doubt and Sorrow combo, I couldn't decide if the ability was actually increasing the damage on the heavy, but I was running anyway for the borderline 100, you know, stat total. Then I put on Nerd Glasses and then slapped Radiant on. And that's kind of where it stopped. I didn't know what to do. Dark Gem, obviously, but the rest was coming up as blank. Because there's a lot of options, to be honest, especially with gems. So that's when I reached out to my friend, Soy. I didn't know what accessories to put on because nothing really synergized that well with the Wayfinder's heavy, and the entire reason why I was building the weapon is, well, the heavy. And, you know, Soy actually gave me a decent start. So here's his build compared to mine. If you can tell, I swapped out Harmed Energy for Unharmed, just, you know, more practical and consistent with popping a heavy like this when you're 1 foot in the grave. And I also replaced Strike Tooth Necklace for Nazar, so we get that mana cost and general resistance to bleed and burn. And I kept Fragile Whetstone. Very hesitantly, though. I didn't like that crit deficit that the armor combo gave me because I just wanted to get out of it with whatever I could. I couldn't use Delicate, Armor Super Protective, even with Double Vivid, and nothing else would give me a crazy crit chance without any major drawbacks, so I reluctantly kept it because there was basically nothing else. No technique, surprisingly. I don't feel like I need Magic Chalk because I like to move around a lot, and staying still isn't something I like to do. Still, it kind of kicks ass, even as is. See, look at it gank Ulfart. You go, crazy geezer.
I just want to mention that this is only on like 2.5 times speed instead of like the normal like 5 times speed I normally have the fight on. But yeah, I just want to mention that because it really melts him. Yeah.
I like melee. I like mage. Why would I not love ranged? Sure, I'm a little one note when it comes to builds, but we can make this work. Like, for example, the dual Boscos. They're actually one of my first builds when I was maybe mid-game and in pre-junks. If I remember, Patchwork healed for a little bit of damage that you dealt into your max HP, which is a nice touch for this build because it doesn't do that much chuck damage. Or, well, it does, albeit with hemorrhaging, but that doesn't really proc Patchwork, so I digress. Drop it is nice. I always like a little bit of extra speed on my stuff, but that's not the main attraction. Charm Gem. Yep, we're doing another crit build, with Bleed the main gimmick. Royal Antenna doesn't really got a cooldown aside from enemy anti-bleed, so it gets kind of crazy with gun technique. Bullet Barrage, you can just pop that shit twice, and with River Clover, it basically 3 times quite easily. So, Diamond Ring, Cowboy Hat, yeah, it's alright. It's kind of a relic from when I wasn't that good at the game. I like it, I look at it sometimes, I feel like I can improve on it, but I'm also looking for better things that deserve builds, because I'm like, almost out of builds in my main file, like build slots. So, here's it defeating Ulfart, I guess. I can work it out. So, fun fact, I've never done archery in this game. Like, ever. So that's why I got someone else to do it for me. Welcome, Campy! Campy, hey there, Campy. You doing alright, Campy? Everything seem alright?
Hi. I didn't even want to be here, actually.
You, I didn't tell him to say that.
You know, he told me a little bit about archer builds in this game, and they're definitely interesting. You just have to see it for yourself. Archer builds are more often than not overshadowed by the huge crazy DPS of mage builds or the potential longevity and consistent damage of some swords, or the fact that there's guns in this otherwise high fantasy next time RPG, but they do have their places, albeit they feel more like an afterthought with there being like little to no archery accessories of like tier 4, and the only 2 archery arms that come to mind are the base archer set and Scarecrow. Even then the latter is a genuine pain to get. Still, they're pretty cool. Most DPS comes from the only 2 offensive archery techniques, Arrow Rain or Spread Shot, but for this build I used Arrow Rain. Both have a kick like guns, though instead of knocking the enemy back, you go flying instead and gain quite a bit of height. This goes well with Gorgon Talon, though I don't use it despite it being quite a good accessory. It's just awkward to use on mobile. Delicate Bowstring is a must, especially with an already short charge time and rapid on the Spear Bow. Speaking of, I'd like to take a look at the weapon before digging into the other accessories. See that gem? Frost Gem? The fuck? I know it looks weird, but shield procs scarily fast on bows, especially if they're multi-shot. And, oh, would you look at that? I count 1, 2, wow. It looks like there's 2 arrows coming from my bow, and with Frost Cone, yeah, the thing's doing pretty good single target damage. And that's not even touching on quivers. The augmented gel quiver gives an access to a plethora of slime arrows, including corrosion, sludge, and most importantly, pink slime. Whenever something is inflicted with pink slime, that enemy has bonus attacks of the status inflicted onto it. And with Frost Gem, multi-shot, and delicate bowstring, yeah, the only thing stopping this is anti-freeze. Check out this technique DPS. Okay, almost done. Back to the accessories. Ranger emblems a must, especially for range builds. Why would you not have this on? Other than that, the Scarecrow set is just there for the dexterity and the Scarecrow protection. I have it on calm because I'm too much of a pussy to put it on fragile or dexterous. But, so how does it perform? Well, how about we take it a Springdale against Old Fart?
Oh, yeah, I still have to deal with you. Here, close your eyes, and we can just say that you'll keep somewhere else. Alright? Alright.
This is probably going to be the last bit I'm showing off. I hope it's been fun. Maybe. For a bit of context, I really like the Sweet Berry Catacombs. The music, the idea, the designs, the atmosphere, I love it. Just not the puzzle. The puzzle was really annoying. But I love the Twig Claws, I love the Blight, and fuck do I love the Rot. And Optus Border? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Here's a build I made for it. Diamond Ring's a must, same with Costly Fan because we're just flinging down like crazy when we spam this shit. Quick Pattern Light Gem because other than that, it's like kind of slow, and the Cowboy hat is just hard to beat for a bonus. So I really don't want to explain what's going on here. I'll just show you. So you can tell I think this game is fun, right? Well, whether it just be general progression, this game's humor, or the weapons that the testers think are totally balanced, or just some personal favorite designs, there's so much customization. Feel free to let me know whether or not if I could improve my builds. I love talking technical shit about games I love. Pilgrim's a great game. Play it. Replay it. Try out different playstyles. Play as a glass cannon with giant guns and a borderline triple-digit crit chance. Select heavy swords, hammers, and other stuff with a cool sidearm and eat up Zax into single-digit damage to sheer reduction. Or fling magical balls at your enemy and cover behind possible teammates. This game's great. Be whoever you want and get creative with your offense. The world is your canvas. Just see whether or not you can find your inspiration.